Kindi Gill from CAPS Vancouver is up next. Kindi, a former CEO of 3,000 people, shares how she pushed herself towards success and peace completely eluded her. Learn how to be set free from the antics of your monkey mind and its associated judgments. Please welcome Kindi Gill.
Often it's the ordinary moments that we experience that teach us the most, and not what we're able to achieve when we become a somebody. So as a chief executive responsible for 3,000 people, at the peak of my career, earning seven-figure sums year upon year, I found myself that chase left me empty-handed, which surprised me, because as a youngster, there was this sense that success is based on becoming somebody. My sister had a car accident and became paralyzed after having 5 breaks in her back. And soon after that, we emigrated to Canada, and this was the most trying, ordinary moments of my life, because my relationship with my husband began to disintegrate after 22 years of being together. The stresses and strains of having made that move and the grief-stricken state of seeing my sister's life to be decimated into a new form of living were the moments that I was going to be tested more than the moments that I was being tested whilst I ran a company with 3,000 people. Because you see, I didn't know that there was this vacuum of grief that could surge up from inside me in quite the potent way that it did. And I didn't know that I could be so heartbroken at the sense that my 22-year-old relationship with my husband was likely to end up in divorce. Because in our home, it had become very regular now to experience arguments. It had become very regular for our children to wonder when it was going to be safe to come downstairs. It had become often for me to be sitting there crying, feeling unloved, unprotected, unsafe, insecure. And the contents of my head perpetually kept me in this state where I wanted to shut down and close off from the world. So I think I faced depression, although I wasn't clinically diagnosed. But it doesn't take a scientist to realize that if a mother doesn't turn up to school for her 4.5-year-old at midday, and that's who's supposed to turn up, there's something wrong with her. So I did what most people may consider in this room, and I consider myself to be a bit of a self-help junkie, and I thought I needed to repair myself, because why was I in arguments, and there must be something I'm doing wrong? Why was my head judging so much that I needed to actually be so volatile and so exposed? So I went down the repairing exercise. And I tried everything from my ailing body. I had migraines, lower back pain, so I considered Reiki, homeopathic medicine, naturopathic medicine. I tried counseling. I tried positivity. I tried gratitude. I tried forgiveness. I tried and tried and tried and tried and tried until I got to the day when I realized I couldn't repair me. I couldn't repair the contents of my head. And I couldn't find respite and silence inside me. So miraculously, when we are most desperately seeking for the most treasured gifts on this earth, an incredible book fell off the shelf and landed by my feet, entitled In Search of the Miraculous, Healing into Consciousness. The first part I understood. I wanted my miracle. The second part I didn't understand. Healing into consciousness. And luckily for me, this author, Mada Eliza Dalian, had created a practical method called the Dalian Method, an antiviral program for us human beings. An antiviral program for adults, for teenagers, for children, to set us free from the contents of our own sabotage, to set us free back into the blissful, silent, equal, ordinary state we all have the right to harness. This state is the state we seek. And my wish for everybody in this audience is that the same bliss comes your way too.